What is happening, all my ones and twos? It's your boy Dion, and I am back at you guys again with yet another Casual Geographic reaction video. So today's video is going to be right up here. If you want to go ahead and check out the original video, I will leave it down below, as well as to his channel, so that way you can go ahead and check that information out. I'm actually interested in getting directly into this reaction, so I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited and enjoying the channel. If you are, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe down below for more videos just like this one. Make sure you like me, love me, and talk to me down below. And let's jump directly into the video. The bird's like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Birds, for the most part, spend their entire lives the same way they started, with zero regard or concept of morality and no deference toward the idea of a higher being. Basically, they're bastards of good. Animals don't typically operate on morality because nature really doesn't care how good of a person you are. Good karma won't keep your kids from starvation, and it won't stop life from slapping you in the face with an octopus. So technically, it really wouldn't be fair to judge animals based on morality. But if we could, birds would never see the light of heaven. Don't know why, but nature insisted on making sure birds survive only by inflicting pain and suffering on others, often in some of the most brutal ways possible. So because I have nothing better to do and this is my life, now here are some birds that would score a negative on the rice purity test. First, we got this paralysis demon with wings, the giant petrel. Basically, take everything bad about seagulls, teach it the table manners of vultures, put it on steroids, and you get a penguin's worst nightmare. More on that later. The giant petrel earned the nickname the stinker because they'll feed on any decaying, rotting carcass, no matter how putrid the festering is.
And if I'm not mistaken, they go ahead and put their
head
heads in their anus.
By starting from the softest points of the body, and normally, that means the anus. So when you see this overgrown graveyard pigeon in red face, it means it just got done tossing some dead elephant seal salad. The giant petrel's nauseating eating habits only make this next fact even worse. Because if you get too close to a nesting petrel, or worse, its chick, it'll projectile vomit whatever disrespect was marinating down in its trash chute of a stomach. It's disgusting. The puke is so acidic it can actually eat away at the waterproof coating of feathers. But that's not why giant petrels are in this video. Now it's because of the flying bullies of the southern seas with an obsession with penguin chicks. The southern giant petrel will survey a penguin colony and single out any chicks it can find, and then they'll proceed to snatch the chick in front of the parents, who honestly don't make much of an effort.
What the fuck?
Then these flying predators will proceed to tear the defense.
Yo, this thing gangster. This damn thing has pure black Air Force energy. It literally just saw the fucking baby just sitting around his parents. It was like, all right, I like your cut, G. Boom, took him.
This chick apart and eat it alive, often while the parents can only watch. Sometimes
Stop
they don't even attack. All giant
doing?
petrels really need to do is sit and wait for one of the chicks to panic and make a break for it, a decision that guarantees his life won't get renewed for the next season. And unlike the Skewer Mafia from Happy Feet, the giant petrel can have a wingspan of up to 7 feet, meaning this flying abortion can be a shack long. But they don't just go after penguins, and yes, I am censoring this for a reason. Giant petrels will also go after seabirds like the albatross and gannet, and their favorite method of soul eviction is by holding the bird underwater until it drowns. It's like a reverse baptism. They're aggressive, nasty, and they operate on a morality deficit, which makes them great at bullying penguins, but even better at World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a free-to-play game available on PC with over 100 players already on there.
That was good as transition. That was good as transition. I can't even lie.
But if you don't value the mental health of others, EBR is the fastest way to obliterate the morale of anyone you play with. EBR is like if orcas were available as high-capacity assault vehicles. They're f***ing broken, and it breaks my soul. Pick your tank, rally your teammates, and turn your competition into past tense in over 40 different battle arenas. Strategy is advised, but my mother would have raised a liar if I sat here and told her I use it. I just go for violence. You can also earn experience and pimp out your tank. Download World of Tanks using the link in the description and use a promo code TANKMANIA and you'll get free 7 days access to a premium account, 250,000 in credit, the premium tank Excelsior, and 3 rental tanks for 10 battles each. I'll play this game and have something to do in the morning. Because if you're anything like me, you'll get hooked and end up playing until 3 in the AM. Not like I get a lot of sleep anyway, especially when I'm carrying the knowledge of the war crimes this flying antichrist commits. Because going back to penguins, giant petrels will gang up on and bully the sick and injured to the point of exhaustion, and once the tuxedo duck can no longer defend itself, these homicidal sea chickens will tear it to pieces. Because a penguin's vital organs are protected by a layer of fat, the poor bird can be laying in sheer agony for over an hour as merciless petrels tear chunks of its flesh out. And again, I'm sitting like this for a reason. It gets ugly. The only relief is when the penguin eventually retires from life due to loss of blood. These ice vultures will also follow fur seals on the hunt for penguins just so they can have a chance at the leftovers. And again, it really doesn't matter if it's dead or alive. Basically, giant petrels are what would happen if nature messed around and gave hyenas wings. And reminder, their wingspan can be 7 freaking feet long. But these flying coffins aren't the only birds with a slightly unethical meal prep. This Hall of Fame intimidator is the imposing golden eagle. Not only is it one of the largest birds of prey, they have a pair of lethal weapons.
But eagles don't even attack humans or anything like that.
To grab and not let go. That and the fact that this eagle is known for griefing animals heavier than they are is why this apex assault weapon has such a high hit list.
Eagles are literally like
as tough as they are,
completely avoid humans, or even if they do become friends with humans. Even if they do end up becoming friends with humans, they usually just like completely 100% loyal to that exact human that went ahead and raised them. So when it usually comes down to eagles, they don't even they're not even really a threat to humans in any type of shape or form. But I can see why they wouldn't go to heaven. They'd do some crazy ass shit like snatching motherfuckers off of fucking cliffs and shit.
Especially in the wings is basically a death sentence, which is why attacking an animal that can fight back, like say a goat, could be bad for their health. Speaking of goats, that unnatural climbing ability helps them scale to heights where most predators aren't an issue. This isn't Photoshop. They're really like that. But of course, this murder Tweety isn't most predators. Apparently, nature gave golden eagles an understanding of physics because they'll attempt to latch onto the goat and manhandle it off a cliff to its death. And goats aren't pushovers. They can still critically injure the eagle on the way down, but golden eagles are strong enough to carry the goat and airdrop it straight to the afterlife.
Yep.
It's not just murder. It's premeditated. As brutal as it is, it's way more efficient than chasing and wrestling a goat into submission when you could just let the goat get clapped by gravity. Chasing a goat ain't easy. Just ask this guy. Also, deer and goats aren't the only victims here. Golden eagles will also carry a tortoise and airdrop it from hundreds of feet until the shell shatters.
Yep.
If the tortoise survives the first time, it's no big deal. The eagle will just pick it up and try again, because it's not like the shell jockey's going anywhere. Not only is it a bad time for a tortoise, it also might have ended a person. Because famous Greek playwright Aeschylus was allegedly turned into a Sunday prayer after a golden eagle airmailed a tortoise addressed right to the back of his head. Even if he wasn't a target, it's still manslaughter. And another body on this felony Tweety's rap sheet.
He basically got Mario.
You can go ahead and add a welfare fraud charge because this bird might legitimately be one of the worst mothers out there. It all starts when a mother common cuckoo gets ready to lay her egg in a nest. Typical bird behavior. Except that's not her nest. The mother cuckoo will lay her egg in the nest of another bird like a reed warbler and then cover her tracks by stealing and destroying one of the originals. Which means the clueless warbler ends up incubating a future criminal. Because in what I can only describe as malicious design, the cuckoo egg will hatch days before the rest of the clutch does. Because even though the cuckoo chick is blind, featherless, and only a day old, it's somehow strong enough to lift an egg almost as big as itself and yeet it out of the nest and turn it into a Denny's breakfast special on the ground. And there's a good chance he does it right in front of the foster.
Bruh.
But why would the warbler take care of a chick that not only isn't her blood, but actively destroyed her own? But that's easy. Gang violence. According to researchers, host parents that refused to feed the cuckoo chick ended up getting their home nest completely vandalized by the cuckoo mafia. And yes, I'm being 100% serious. And if the warbler recognizes the imposter egg and removes it before it can hatch, there's a good chance the mother cuckoo will stop by and butcher the entire nursery. I still can't get over this picture. So now the poor warbler is forced to take care of a chick that not only isn't hers, but was probably the one that Ted Bundy'd her actual children. Not to mention the cuckoo chicken grows several times larger than the host parent, meaning the mother bird literally breaks her back trying to feed it. It's honestly one of the biggest dick moves in nature, and get this, know the first 4 letters of a cuckoo's name? Yeah, that's where that term comes from. One of the most shameful genres out there was spawned by the sheer dickery of this bird. All this while the mother cuckoo sleeps at night knowing she trapped an innocent soul with a baby. It's like if Brittany Renner could fly. But what if Buffalo Bill had wings? Well, you'd probably get this demon right here. So at this point, there's 2 types of people. There's those that don't know what this is, and those that are wondering when this serial killer was going to make an appearance.
Well, honestly, I don't know what type of fucking bird that is. So I'm with the first group. So I'm still like, I don't know what the fuck the bird is.
For the former, this is a shrike. It's a type of passerine bird, making it related to blue jays and sparrows. It's also known as the butcher bird. And that is because this tiny bird has a disturbing habit of catching and murking its prey and impaling the corpse on thorns to store in its pantry. The shrike can keep several bodies of its victims in storage for days before they actually eat them. They'll even purposely wait a few days after skewering the toxic lubber grasshopper so it'll naturally degrade and become safer to eat. There's also the fact that the shrike will typically turn its prey into past tense by grabbing the neck and violently shaking until the neck snaps. Don't let this cover fool you. The pages of this demon dove story are riddled with psychopath tendencies and homicide in the very first degree. At least shrikes normally kill their prey before they impale it. Some birds choose to just swallow and let the rest work itself out. Pelicans are garbage disposals.
I mean, why didn't they just call that bird like the fucking Dracula bird or something like that? I mean, Dracula did impale his fucking, you know, his damn victims. Or it could be a situation where Dracula got the idea from those birds. Either which one.
A pelican's diet consists of the usual fish, no surprise there. But his grocery list also includes amphibians, turtles, crustaceans, small mammals, not so small mammals, and other birds. Basically, if they think it can fit down its gullet, it's food, and you'll never guess what animal's behind me. Yeah. When it comes to pelicans, there's two schools of thought.
What?
There's the people that think pelicans are just goofy, big-billed sea ducks. And then there's those that have seen the video of a pelican swallowing a pigeon whole, with the bird visibly struggling as it was getting forced down its bottomless pit of a throat. When low on their normal food source or stressed, pelicans will resort to friendly firing other birds like pigeons, seagulls, penguins, and ducks. And since pelicans don't have teeth, we can assume this pigeon's last moments were spent suffocating as it was being digested alive by corrosive stomach acid. Not a good way to go. I don't even like pigeons, and I feel bad. But it's
yo, it is literally still
Google
fighting while it's in his neck.
Animal, and you'll probably get one either attempting to or considering attempting to eat something that they honestly have no business even making the effort to swallow. A pelican swallowing a capybara defies all logic and common sense, but it won't stop this walking trash can from trying. A cat could probably open up a pelican like a Christmas present, but pelicans seem to think they exist in a vacuum with no consequences. When you do something like this, it shouldn't be a surprise when one attempts to Cardi B a human. You know, gag, choke, dangling thing back of the throat. I know that was a weird reference. If gluttony is a sin, then this feathery Lucifer has earned a D1 scholarship to the pits of hell. And judging from the eyes, they've already been there. And if you think I'm being unfair, when I was 7, a pelican nearly gouged my eyes out and blinded me. So yeah.
It's personal. He said, it's all sight, my nigga.
Oftentimes, a stronger pelican chick will bully and beat the weaker sibling, the past tense, usually while the parent watches in sadistic approval. And sometimes the parents will straight up refuse to feed the weaker chick, instead letting it retire to starvation. Now, to be fair, a lot of birds do the exact same thing, but I've already made it clear I have a bias. While the Cape Gannet goes out hunting for fish, this murderous feather dumpster goes hunting for chicks. Pelicans will raid these nurseries while the parents are out to sea and devour the helpless gannet chicks in what has to be one of the most terrifying ways to die. Imagine this being the last thing you ever see. And just to add to it, because why stop now, some species will resort to cannibalism by gorging themselves with the children of their own species, because when it comes to their diet, if a pelican, a pella will. You just can't trust a bird that's literally related to a Jurassic reject. And yes, this dinosaur isn't historic, it's part of the pelican family. Hey, you remember how I made you feel bad for penguins because of the acts of terrorism this freeze-dried vulture commits? Yeah, that was on purpose. Penguins are far from innocent. In fact, they're as nasty as it gets. This little guy is an Adelie penguin, and they're honestly just formal frat boys. Just look how he's dressed. Your suit doesn't hide your sins. Adelie males will mate with
suit doesn't hide your
anything.
sins.
Adelie males have been seen inviting themselves onto injured females, other males, unsupervised chicks, and once again, I'm blocking this out for your mental health. Just because I have to see it doesn't mean you should. Honestly, if you have a pulse, it's tight. That wasn't even true, because once a scientist witnessed male Adelies without a partner attempt to mate with the ground. To completion, by the way. In one case, a dead penguin had been frozen over in a position that I can only assume was a little too similar to the mating posture. That was all the males needed to give the ice-chilled corpse the treatment. One scientist decided to take it even further by placing only the frozen, disembodied head of a penguin on a rock just to see how low the males could go. Apparently low enough to forever traumatize the scientist and guarantee that his therapist never has to touch storebrand. Once again, to completion.
What the
Penguins
fuck?
aren't the only things to resort to acts of the necro, but penguins insist on being really f***ing weird about it. Adelies will sleep with anything with a heartbeat, and even that's not a deal breaker.
Yep.
Like this would legitimately be considered a sext to an Adelie. Even the emperor penguin isn't all that royal. Emperor penguins have to raise children in one of the worst area codes in the world. It's so bad that if an egg rolls onto the ground unprotected for less than a minute, the chick inside is already gone. Which means by the end of the brutal 4-month winter, there's a lot of penguin parents with an empty nest. But not only will some attempt to fill the void by kidnapping someone else's chick, it only takes a few days or even hours for the foster parent to get bored and leave the forcefully adopted chick to die. Either by starvation or worse, by getting violated by the flying booty warrior that is the giant Petrel. You see how it all comes full circle? Because penguins invest so much energy into one baby, losing one can drive mothers to satisfy their maternal instincts by kidnapping. But of course, this also means that once the instinct wears off like post-acorn clarity, the mother basically murders the chick through sheer negligence. And there's only one good thing about this. Next time you see a leopard seal ordering Popeyes, you won't feel as bad. And just like
why did he do that?
Over. I write, record, and edit these videos all by myself. I'm not complaining, I basically chose this. But if you'd like to support this channel for some reason, my Patreon's going to be in the description. Becoming a patron earns you access
Support
to
his
TikTok
Patreon.
videos
Support his
before I post them,
Patreon.
and even
Anybody that
exclusive
watches this
content that
video.
you won't find anywhere else. But once again, please don't feel pressure to give any money, only if you can afford it. Please feel pressure to subscribe though. It costs you nothing to hit that button, but not subbing might cost you your kidneys on the black market. Also follow me on Instagram so I can get verified and start DMing women for validation. There's videos and pictures and stuff, but honestly, I just want that blue check. Like, that is my entire motivation for all of this. It's not about raising awareness or making you laugh. It's about validation from strangers online. That is my one-armed man. All right, peace out.
What the fuck is this? Oh, why did he do that? Yeah, but that was fun as shit. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe down below for more videos just like this one. Make sure you like me, love me, and you talk to me down below. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.